Welcome to the Stickers on the Mic podcast, brought to you by StickerGiant.com, where we talk with our customers about how they started their business, how they're marketing their brand, and how they're growing their company. Without further ado, it's time for the Stickers on the Mic podcast from Sticker Giant. Let's get on with the show. Hey everybody, welcome back to Stickers on the Mic. Andrew with you here once again. Always a pleasure to be here, and thank you for spending time with us today. We're very fortunate to be dialing in from Monticello, Minnesota, Jackie Rasmussen from Northern Ties MN. So Minnesota.com is the site, and we'll refer to it quite a lot as always. Jackie, thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me. It's an honor.
Nice. Gosh, so like a lot of our, customers, you're big on Instagram, right? And that's kind of where we've connected. You've tagged us in the past, and I've been following your journey a little bit. But we want to hear it from you. It's been it seems like a while, a couple of years for you.
Yeah, crazy.
And just like a lot of folks, just like last week who I interviewed, something came out of the pandemic, and I want to hear about before the pandemic, and then how you find yourself today where we are, right? So let's rewind pre-2020 March. What was your life like?
So long ago.
It seems so long ago. Let's start there. What was your life like then?
Yeah, I was a self-taught graphic designer. I was there 7 years, and I had a boss who didn't believe in me because I didn't go to college for it. So kind of dealing with that. Didn't have a raise in 3 years, but I loved what I did. And then so January, I ended up a serious relationship. So I was by myself. I got bills to pay. And so I started side hustling. I bought over at North Face at the outlet mall, doubled, tripled my money. I was satisfied with that. COVID happened 3 months later, and TikTok was starting to get really intense, and people were starting to download that app. And I bleached some hoodies because that was the new thing. So that's what I'm known for. Reverse tie-dye is taking the color out, which is bleaching. I'm not tie-dyeing. I don't fuck with color dye. And I tripled my money overnight. So I'm like, if I don't have to sell North Face and do that kind of thing and do this out of my home with my dogs, I'm cool with that. So I started with 16 crew necks, and it literally, I have thousands of inventory right now. Hoodies. This is what I'm known for. The reverse tie-dye went viral on TikTok. I'm a huge believer in TikTok, and everyone should be on there, as well as showing their face, Instagram, Facebook, the whole 9 yards.
Right. So like you said, you're known for this. Now we are up to basically kind of up to speed, but we'll talk a little bit about the growth and what you did along the way between, for the last 2 years. But when it came to sort of choosing this, why this particular
Honestly,
medium
it just kind of came like, I'm such a tomboy. I'm super casual. I never wear makeup. I just did it for you with the hair and makeup, but my followers know me as super chill. And it literally just happened. Like, I started believing in myself. I started, COVID happened. I lost my job. I had no money coming in.
Right.
That was scary. Like, I cried to my parents at 30 years old. I'm like, what am I going to do? And so when I bleached these hoodies, it was 2 $6 hoodies from Walmart. It was going around on TikTok, bleach, tie-dye, all this shit people were trying to find during quarantine, And so I did them, and I hated how they turned out. So I threw one on Poshmark and one on eBay, and they, tripled my money overnight. And I'm like, wow, what? So then I started bleaching on the side, and I didn't think it was, I didn't think I was going to be a business owner. I never had that in my future. Like, it was just side hustling, make that money. I got to survive through COVID because I was getting hired back on. I was just furloughed. 8 months passed, and then I was hired back on part-time, not full-time. And I was doing this on the side, and I had a lot of people from work, a lot of friends and family buy. But once TikTok started taking on, and I'm still a small business. I only have 50,000 followers on TikTok, but the power of TikTok, 2/3 of my customers are coming from there. So when I go to vendor shows and I'm talking to other businesses, first thing I tell them, if you're not on TikTok, you're missing out on so much potential.
Yeah. So you've got 50 something thousand followers on TikTok, and Instagram is performing well too. It's a little different medium, obviously. Yeah. But let's talk a little bit about, because we have obviously a TikTok account for Sticker Giant, and we're leveraging it and building it over. It's new, right? And we're small printing company in Longmont, Colorado. So what, you got to figure out what hits for your audience. How did you sort of figure out what was hitting for your audience
behind the scenes?
Yeah.
People
Same.
love the honesty. And, I don't necessarily tell people, a lot of people want to know what brand I use. Test the brand, see what works for you. Your quantities, your cost is going to be different. I just found a brand that I really like. The quality is high and it bleaches very well. So my scope is very small in terms of bleaching. I can't just bleach anything. It can't be 100% cotton, Right. And on TikTok, you have a lot of people who copy you. I mean, I'll go on the app and there's people doing the same thing I am. And they're saying viral hoodie and they have 100 followers. I'm like, hey, I mean, do you, boo, do you? But yeah, these accounts, you see people going viral, they're influencers. I would say I'm a small influencer. I have small businesses on the weekly sending me stuff as long as I promote it. And I just think that's so cool because, again, I never thought I was going to do this. And back in March of last year, I was able to put my 2 weeks in and do this full time now.
Huh. Interesting. So yeah, like you said, you're working the TikTok angle. And then of course you have to start the website and figure out what's your product mix. And let's talk a little bit about just getting that rolling, right?
Oh yeah. So I started with reverse tie-dye, again, bleaching of a garment. And I realized 90% of my customers were female. How can I get that male audience? Because this shit's a little crazy for men. I totally understand that and respect that.
You mean crazy, like visual style? Is that
all the color, I mean, it's a lot for any person to take on. So I respect that. So I wanted, how can I get men? It's branded. It's Richardson hats. It's beanies. It's t-shirts. It's tanks. So all of 2020 is when I started bringing on the branded stuff. Got it. It still didn't do as hot though as my reverse tie-dye. That's what I'm known for. That's what the wholesalers get. That's what people want to buy on TikTok. How can you set yourself apart from the competition? Because ultimately, we all have the same quality. We all have the same product. It's how we market it and brand basically is how it ends up rolling. Totally. People are buying my story.
Yeah, exactly. And then also with trends, people want to have like the trendy. It's about you, and it's disposable fashion, and it's whatever zeitgeist.
Well, that's why I did the branded stuff because you just don't know.
Yeah, and then especially if it and I mean, it's different when you're printing stickers, like where we sort of connected, obviously. But those are just pure. Artifacts.
Oh, people love your guys' stickers. Every time I include a sticker. Oh, thank you for including the sticker. I'm so happy.
Yeah. And then, you sell them too, because you're obviously trying to do different things. But yeah, giving them away is obviously my favorite thing to do because people just like stickers, right? These are embroidered. So you have embroidered stuff. You've got that patch thing, and someone does all that stuff for you. I presume you buy that stuff. You got kids stuff, right?
Yeah.
What's next?
Hopefully a warehouse. I have my realtor looking, but the market's just insane right now. And for Northern Ties, ideally I would love a $500,000 barn dominium where my business is in the front and I live in the back. Bleaching is a carcinogen and it is serious to all the bleachers out there in the lung issues future. So I wear a respirator, but that bleach still fumigates throughout my house when I'm washing it. And long-term, it is not good. I've had 2 chest x-rays this year and I just want to make sure my health is good so I can continue. But yeah, so hopefully a warehouse here soon. I've been looking for 4 months now and there's just nothing on the market. I mean, it's crazy out there. And I'm sure Denver's the same way. Like it is nuts. And what they want for the money just isn't worth it.
Yeah. I mean, you're outside of Minneapolis, right? So that's pretty big center of gravity. So when it comes to, not pure social either, but then how are you getting the word out? You know what I'm saying? Like TikTok is a creator economy and you're posting and you're replying. How are you sort of advertising and doing all that? I
don't do any spending. It's all word of mouth. It's all honestly TikTok. I go on live and I get 25 orders. I'm good. I'm good for the hour. I'll sit and talk and I literally, all I do is show my face and talk about my product and all of a sudden the orders just start coming in.
So this is very fascinating because this is just not my world. Because live is not a new trend, but live is still just a sticky place. Like Facebook, not great. Instagram, just okay, unless you have like you're following a celebrity or like a personality that you like are connecting to, and you want to hear them talk from their living room or whatever, and share, inspirational stuff, which is not my kind of thing. But each one of these platforms, Instagram has like a product section where you can, have people buy stuff, right? TikTok doesn't really operate like that. So are you saying you're like, okay, I'm going to do you have like a time when it's best? Or you just like, I'm going to hop on for an hour just because I got
YOLO.
Yeah, YOLO. It's a YOLO thing. Okay.
Yeah, for sure. No, I just hop on and I start talking, and people will be like, hey, what does this size look like on you? So I'll go hurry up, change, try. All of a sudden I get 3 orders from it. Like, it's just, on Instagram, they didn't approve me for shopping yet. I still have not been approved. I've been battling this issue for 2 years now.
I just don't understand why they wouldn't approve you to sell things. I don't understand.
They go into conduct on certain things. So I think it's because I say a lightweight hoodie. So they refer to that as drinking alcohol. So I have to go back and,
I don't understand that. I'm sorry. And I'm not dense, but a lightweight hoodie has nothing to do with alcohol.
Right. So it's all this SEO that I really need to take the time to, it's just me doing Northern Ties. Yeah. I don't have help. And it's in my house. So my other goal this year is to start adding employees. But again, that's a warehouse. Like, it's my personal space, and a lot of people respect that. And I have 2 German Shepherds, so it has to be the right person.
Right. So you'll be on TikTok, you're like, whenever, and then the orders start coming in and they're just buying them through the site, and you pick them up and you get them going.
Yeah.
The certain items you have, right, with apparel, how do you source all that stuff?
I source through wholesalers. So a guy I found who does my embroidery, who does my patches on my Richardson hats and all that stuff, he actually kind of helped me with what wholesalers to go through. He's helped me with what brands. I've also tested a lot of brands. I'm not one to sit and ask people questions. I want to figure it out for my own, because again, we're all in different, what we want to spend on a hoodie, what we call quality. All of our aspects are different in terms of that. So I wanted to test it myself. So the vendor that I'm working with, he's 15 minutes south of me, found him through a friend of a friend on Facebook, put it on Facebook that I was looking for somebody, and he came about. I have some stuff that I'm bringing in the house this year that I haven't told anyone. So I've taken a step back from vendor shows and in-person events, because my online community is just so strong. Like, right. I can crush it online versus these in-show events for sure.
Huh. So local connections are good, right? I had a question and I just sort of forgot. Oh, well, so like, you kind of obviously gone through some stuff and figured some stuff out along the way, but if you could sort of tell yourself a couple of years ago, like, what kind of advice would you have given yourself now?
Oh man, believe in yourself. I didn't believe in myself. I was making $24 as a senior graphic designer, hadn't had a raise in 3 years. And for the throughout my 20s, from 20 to 30, I'll be 33 this year, I told myself, I want to marry a rich man. That is my end game. I was going to make babies. And that was it for me. Huh. When I started believing in myself and what I'm capable of, and just showing my personality and my face, people fell in love with that. Now I have a relationship, not necessarily with a man, but with my online community. Right. I mean, I'm on my phone 24/7 talking to people, and it's just, so definitely believe in yourself and just go for it. I spent my last $100 in investing in this. I spent, the government was sending out the checks, the stimulus checks and stuff. All that money went right back into my business. Even this last drop that I did with all the new colors and the spring collection, my last 15 grand is what I put into this business. And I just go all out. Like, you have to take risks in order to get the good out of it,
Totally. You just said 24/7 though. So, I mean, here's that, the curse of that blessing is like, if you decide to chill.
Oh, it's nonstop.
There's no ordering. I mean, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, if you decide to just, I got to take a break, then there's no orders, right? The spigot turns off.
I've noticed that too. I went on vacation in January down to Vegas. My best friend lives out there, and it was slow. I was still getting orders, but not like when I'm on social every day. And it shows where my gaps are, because it shouldn't be slow when I'm not on it. It should continue to grow. So it's just mindset, I'm not even 2 years in. July 31st will be my 2-year mark. And this year I've really taken back the whole branding, the hang tags, the how do I want my business to move forward to succeed? Because now what's happening is we're watching all these TikTok businesses. They skyrocketed through this.
Yeah.
Well, now TikTok's so viral now, and all these businesses are catching on that now they're not getting the views, and they wonder why.
Crowded. It's getting crowded. Yeah,
it is. And it's, it's harder for us to push out, and there's businesses that are closing and giving up. And it's like, you can't. Like, if you don't show your face or post daily, how do you expect to grow? And they haven't posted for 3 months, so.
And it's interesting because we just went through this season again, the Oscar season, but you had this Oscar thing with a local news hit. Oh
yeah.
And I feel like I saw something like that related again this, or maybe you just reshared it like, hey, remember last year when this happened? But this was a local media play, but you say you're not advertising. So that earned media placements are super helpful. Do you source those, or you just like, they come to you?
They come to me. I'm just that cool. Kelly Hansen reached out, and she's with Twin Cities Live, our, news channel in the Twin Cities. And she reached out and she's like, I love your stuff. Would you be featured? And that was great. And then she featured again a few months later. And it's just the power of social media is truly interesting. My parents are entrepreneurs, and they said, wow, I wish I had this back in the day.
Yeah. It totally just flattens the playing field. And you could be outside of, Minneapolis and sell, hoodies to people in San Diego or whatever. So, you said the things you're looking at to grow and expand and thinking strategically there. What it's tough to say because you got the Pinterest too, right? That's a little different sort of story. I don't know like how it looks like you're posting TikToks onto there, resharing stuff like that, so just thinking of channels and all that.
And Pinterest is important. I believe in all platforms. Even Google, people should have Google, but it's just where do you want to spend your time? And I feel like TikTok's my biggest ROI right now for sure.
Nice. Cool. Right on. Just always interested in, we're in the digital marketing world here. So it's always interesting to see like how people, different types of audiences respond to certain things. How do you sort of, you got the TikTok code on there for that. Like, do you track through all those conversions of the coupon codes and stuff?
I don't allow it on my reverse tie-dye though. So that's kind of a dinger for people, but it's a carcinogen. It is so bad for me to breathe. Yeah. So I know my worth and I don't discount that worth.
Got it.
So everything else there's 65 other products you can use that TikTok code for or whatever, and I run sales monthly, whether it's free shipping or whatever, but I track that. But I do pop-ups at my house, super casual, and they'll come shop, and I had 78 people in 3 hours. It was a $6,000 day in 3 hours. When I go to these vendor shows and I barely clear 1,000 or 2.
Yeah. And I got to spend a bunch of money to get in the door.
I don't have to travel. I don't have to stay in a hotel. I have 2 shepherds. It's hard to find somebody to watch them. So it's like, that's why another reason I took a step back from shows. It just wasn't there for me in the ROI terms, because these hoodies are expensive, but they're priced because it's an artwork. It's a canvas. It's not just a hoodie.
No. Yeah, totally. Interesting. Yeah, thinking about expressing yourself that way. So that's a cool way to turn art into something meaningful and also pay your bills too.
Hell yeah.
So thanks for all of the tips and tricks and appreciate the enthusiasm. And we naturally, appreciate the business. And back to just one last little hit on these stickers. Are you designing these yourself?
I sure am.
Nice. Perfect.
Yeah, I'm a self-taught graphic designer. So I was thrown into a marketing role 7 years ago, and I didn't know what I was doing, and I kind of just learned. And the graphic designers that they phased in and out, I learned from them, asked questions. YouTube is a huge thing. Google. How can you not? As long as you put the effort into it, you can do whatever you want, And design those. I want to get rolling on some new ones. I want more of an outdoor cabin vibe feel. I don't, and I can graphically do it, but I kind of almost want to start outsourcing just because my brain is so into other
That's
stuff.
What I was saying. I'm like, not that you couldn't handle it, but like, I just wondered if you're like, you come up with some words, and if you give a designer, here's 2 words and the colors, and like, just go for it. And then they come up with the Minnesota shape or
stuff you would never think of.
Yeah. Right. It's like, if you give them loose parameters, and then it's always nice to be delighted by, especially your designers.
Yeah, I do small business logos for other businesses. They
Nice.
reach
Oh
out.
yeah, that was the last thing I kind of on your site. You kind of mentioned that you like
Yeah.
also help. Like, let's talk a little bit because that obviously is extra income, but it also is taking your expertise and building that local network too. So, what are you doing to help small businesses like yourself?
I'll make a TikTok, and I had to stop making these because I was getting so many inquiries. I've increased my prices twice now for these logos, and they just keep coming, which is great. But when I got so much background noise, I want to be honest to the customer and who's paying my client. Like, I want to be real with you, and I want to provide you with 110%. And if I can't do that, then so I had to take a step back from that because it just got to be too much for me. But yeah, and I'm so with the logos and graphic help, I do that. There's a few that I wiggle in here and there that are kind of closer followers of me and, customers, then I'll make it room, but it's just crazy.
Interesting. Well, yeah, you got a lot of irons in the fire, so it's very cool. I want to thank you for your time. I want to thank everybody out there listening and hanging out and hearing this story. So, Jackie, appreciate it. And best of luck this year as you enter, what does this mean in your third year as a business, right?
Yeah, I'll go into year 3, which is crazy. What?
Well, folks, again, it's Northern Ties, mn.com is the site, and it's Northern Ties. And I'm on Instagram as well and TikTok. So feel free if this kind of thing is your bag. It's not just tie dyes though, right? Like, I mean, you got other prints and it's turning more into the brand now as you go, right?
Absolutely.
Well, best of luck. We say every sticker has a story on the show, folks. This time around, it is that Northern Ties a tree. It's got the text there. It's got that outdoor feel. So check it out if you can, and be well, Jackie.
Cheers. Thank you.
That wraps up this episode of Stickers on the Mic, brought to you by StickerGiant.com. You can download us on Spotify, iTunes, Google Play, SoundCloud, or your favorite podcatcher. Thanks again for listening to Stickers on the Mic. We'll see you next time.